What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday morning live edition of Fantasy, where we are going over injuries, some light start-sit questions, and we're just going to take a look at the whole landscape of your fantasy lineups today, get you up to date on everything, and hopefully get you winning some matchups. Make sure you throw any questions that you have in the chat. We'll answer everything that we can, and we are doing this every Sunday at 8 a.m. We're going live. We're answering your questions. We're going over the injuries and updates and anything that you may have missed, because a lot of these things come out at midnight and 2 a.m. and wherever you are. So that's why we've got it all here for you, so you can get it in one place. Okay, let's start off. Well, right now the Browns are playing the Vikings in London. Let's get a quick score update. It's been locked at 7-7 for a while. Looks like Browns took the lead right before halftime, 10-7. Dylan Gabriel playing pretty well in his first game, 13 for 21, 102 yards, and a touchdown. That touchdown going to Harold Fannin Jr., the rookie tight end. So Dylan Gabriel looking pretty good. All right, let's get right into it. First game of the morning, I have here Raiders at Colts. So Brock Bowers still dealing with the knee. When I last checked, he was trending towards missing the game today. Let's see if we have an update on that. Still likely to sit out, still listed as questionable. Look, I don't think he's playing today. That knee, he has not looked the same since he injured his knee. I believe that was in week 2. Hopefully he can right the ship and look like the fantasy star that he is. But as of right now, I would prepare for no Brock Bowers. Take a look at some of those other tight ends. Dallas Goedert is maybe a guy to look at. He's been a big part of the Philadelphia Eagles offense. I would look at Dallas Goedert. Obviously, people like Harold Fannin, they've already played this morning, so hopefully you didn't have to make a decision there. But looks like Brock Bowers will not be available for week 5. Still not official, but it's not trending in the right direction. And then a clean game for the Colts. Looks like all of their starters will be playing. And I'm looking to start all 4 of their big 4, that being Daniel Jones. Can't believe I'm saying that Daniel Jones is a must start, but Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, and Tyler Warren. I am prepared to start all 4 of them against the Raiders. Should be a good game. Should be a bounce back after that sort of heartbreaking loss to the Rams last week. But yeah, I'm looking to start anyone from the Colts this week. All right, Giants at Saints. So Tyrone Tracy still dealing with the shoulder. Last update we had, he is doubtful to play. Let's see. Yep, still listed as doubtful. No concrete designation here yet. But with the doubtful tag, looks like the recovery is trending in the right direction. So Tyrone Tracy should be back soon. You got another week to go ahead and smash start Cam Scatterbo. The Saints so far have given up to running backs 14 points to James Conner in week 1. Week 2, 22 points to CMC. They've given up 18 fantasy points to Kenneth Walker, and then 22 last week to James Cook. Start Cam Scatterbo. He's the only, without Malik Neighbors, he's their go-to weapon, I would say, besides, Jackson Dart making some things happen on his own. But yeah, Cam Scatterbo smash start this week. And then again, if you didn't hear for some reason, Malik Neighbors with the awful injury out for the season last week. But there has been some more conversation being sparked about the MetLife Stadium turf. So I'm a big proponent for getting rid of that turf. We've seen so many ridiculous injuries on that field. Aaron Rodgers' Achilles, now to Malik Neighbors' ACL. It's just there's so much conversation to be had about it. But yeah, that field, they've got to do something about it, because now you're presenting a worse product in the NFL by prioritizing that turf field. So, and then clean game for the Saints. Alvin Kamara also has a favorable matchup here against the Giants. The Giants have given up some great fantasy days to running backs. So Alvin Kamara, before he gets inevitably traded by the Saints, I would go ahead and start him here this week against the Giants. All right, Cowboys at Jets. So Miles Sanders has missed practice all week with the ankle and knee. No update on if he is playing, but if he does not play, that's where we keep an eye on Jaden Blue. He looks like, if Miles Sanders is out, looks like Jaden Blue is going to suit up for the first time. Like I say on all our videos, like I say here, with these running backs, with these rookie running backs, with these guys that we're hoping will trend in the right direction, we want to take a look at the snap share and their yards per carry. So let's take a look at the snap share he gets this week, and then let's see if he suits up next week. Let's see if that snap share goes up. Let's see what his efficiency looks like. That's what you want to look like, what you want to look at for these guys. We're not jumping and starting Jaden Blue this week. You're not throwing him in your lineup unless you've drafted Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, Mike Evans, CeeDee Lamb, and you need a warm body. But in most situations, we are not starting Jaden Blue this week, but you're keeping an eye on him, especially if you got an open spot and you do decide to just go pick him up. Let's say Miles Sanders is out, Jaden Blue is going to get some playing time today, and you go pick him up. That's what you want to look at. Look at the efficiency, look at the snap share, and then we'll compare that next week as well. So we are at pending status with Jaden Blue. We're not starting him, but we're taking a good look at him. And then CeeDee Lamb with the high ankle sprain, obviously still ruled out, could miss even more time past this week. So George Pickens is a smash start, had a great game against Green Bay. He is starting to really build up the chemistry with Dak Prescott. Let's take a look at the numbers. The targets have gone up every week. Week 1, 4 targets. That's on 92% of snaps. And then 9 targets after that, 9 the week after that, 11 targets last week, 8 catches, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He is the main weapon in this offense. So George Pickens is absolutely a smash start. And then Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is the tight end 1 so far. And again, with CeeDee Lamb out, the ball has to go somewhere. There's so much passing volume in the Cowboys offense. Dak's been slinging it. Jake Ferguson in week 2, he had 12 targets. Week 3 had 14. And then last week he caught 7 for 7 and a touchdown. He is tight end 1, and he's looking good. So Jake Ferguson is a set it and forget it starting tight end so far this season. All right, and then Broncos at Eagles. Obviously, as an Eagle fan, this game I am looking forward to, but I'm feeling weird about this one as far as the Eagles from a fantasy perspective and just from a football fan perspective. I feel like this is a very losable game for the Eagles, but they are healthy. We're officially cautious about their skill position players besides Jalen Hurts. Saquon currently running back 13. So not bad in a vacuum, but we did draft him to be a top 3 fantasy running back. And then Devontae Smith is in at wide receiver 40, and A.J. Brown so far across 4 weeks is wide receiver 47. So this is, report came out a little bit earlier, a couple minutes ago, that the Eagles will not be trading A.J. Brown by the trade deadline, November 4th, I believe it is. A.J. Brown comes out with the cryptic tweets. The offensive coordinator says, he just wants to win. Devonta Smith says, he wants the offense to be better. It's not just about him. It's about the team. Listen, I am not starting A.J. Brown. I am not starting Devonta Smith. You're starting Saquon Barkley and you're starting Jalen Hurts. But those wide receivers, there's just something, the offense there's no room for them in the offense so far. And I don't know if that can last. I don't know if that will last, but that's what we're looking at right now. So I am not starting them until further notice. So just keep that in mind. If you have to start them, then you do it. Obviously, if you're injury riddled, you've got some players on a bye this week, you're going to start them. You're going to start your best players. But if if you hit on some lower picks and you've got guys that you're kind of making a decision, me personally, I'm sitting those guys, Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. And then on the Broncos side, R.J. Harvey had a mini breakout last week, 19.8 PPR points. Let's see if he can continue that. Eagles defense, not as dominant as they were last year at this point in the season. And then Evan Ingram, he had the back thing last week, no injury designation this week. He did have a season high in 7 targets last week. So let's see if he can build off of that and if he can be that joker in this offense that Sean Payton just bragged about all offseason and then has not shown anything. Don't you love Sean Payton? All right, Dolphins at Panthers. Guys, listen, we are starting Jalen Waddle. There's too much. I'm seeing so much talk. Can he be a wide receiver 1? Yes. He did it as soon as he came in the league. He finished wide receiver 13 as a rookie. And then his second year, first year in Mike McDaniel's offense, first year with Tyreek Hill in Miami, he finishes wide receiver 8. I'm going to pull up his numbers here, but he can definitely, he's done it before. And the thing with Jalen Waddle, this is so interesting. His targets have gone down every year, and that's for different reasons. Obviously, his rookie year, he was the bona fide wide receiver 1 in the offense. Tyreek Hill shows up, targets go down a little bit. The following year, he misses some games with injury. But he is healthy right now. So his rookie year, he had 140 targets, and that's by far the most he's had. 140 targets, finishes wide receiver 13. But then this is interesting. The following year, 117 targets. He had 29 less receptions, but he put up 350 more yards and 2 more touchdowns, finishes wide receiver 8. Jalen Waddle, he's 26 years old. We're acting like he's washed. I think he is a bona fide top 15 wide receiver in fantasy this year. I think he's going to finish in the top 15. There's no doubt in my mind. Jalen Waddle, we are starting him. Start Jalen Waddle this week, especially against this Panthers team. He is their number 1 weapon right now, Jalen Waddle. And then Darren Waller's an interesting one to look at. Could be a little fluky last week with the 2 touchdowns. They were kind of, he is a nice red zone target, but those were definitely manufactured looks to get him the ball. So we'll see if he can command some real attention in the offense. And then on the Panthers side, Chuba Hubbard is out. So you're going Rico Dowdle if you have to. Not sure that I really want to trust Rico Dowdle, but just keep that in mind. Take a look at what you got if you are a Chuba Hubbard manager. All right, Texans at Ravens. And this is the big one. So we got that Ian Rappaport tweet a couple days ago, I think on Friday, with the injury report. And those were his exact words. It's a big one. They are decimated. You are starting CJ Stroud, you are starting Woody Marks, and you are starting Nico Collins because this Ravens team is completely decimated. They're already the worst defense in football. So you've already got the worst defense in football. Now they're hurt. Lamar Jackson's out. You have a Houston Texans team that wants to make a statement. They need to make a statement. They need to build some confidence for CJ Stroud. They need to build off of what Woody Marks has been doing. I mean, if Nick Chubb is your only option, you're starting Nick Chubb here as well. So they need to perform. They need CJ Stroud to look like the player he was as a rookie. So I think this is an excellent opportunity for the Texans to come out and just post up a ton of points. Don't sit your. If I'm the Texans, if it's a blowout, I'm not sitting my starters until at least halfway through the fourth quarter. I want to build some. I just want to build something for this team because they've looked so disappointing. So this is the perfect week, perfect time for them to come out and really make a statement. So I am starting all of the Texans here, if my lineup permits. So I'm looking for big games, and then obviously Lamar Jackson's out. Cooper Rush is the guy. Do what you will with that, but yeah, it's rougher. It is rough for Ravens fans because they're 1-3. And now they're hurt, and now Lamar Jackson's out, so indefinitely too. So rough one for the Ravens here. Awesome for any Texans player managers. So look forward to starting them. All right, Titans at Cardinals. And listen, I'm not starting any Titans until further notice. Not starting Cam Ward. If you're starting Cam Ward, I don't know what you're doing. Tony Pollard, I'm not starting Tony Pollard because now Tyjae Spears is back off of IR this week. So do with that what you will. And then Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's on drop watch if you haven't dropped him already. Let me pull up the numbers here. I traded for Calvin Ridley very, very little. I picked up Rashad Bateman off waivers. There's a Ravens fan in our league. This is a dynasty league, so he sent me Rashad Bateman in like a 7th. Or I'm sorry, he sent me Calvin Ridley in like a 7th. I sent him Rashad Bateman in a 6th. So I'm fine if I have to drop Calvin Ridley. I mean, it's atrocious. This is full PPR, 6.7, 8.7, 3.7, and 5 fantasy points. So he is not panning out into what we thought he was going to be. Alec Iomanor seems to be taking over as the wide receiver 1 in the offense, rookie wide receiver. He's had a couple good weeks, and then he's had some stinkers as well. What do you expect from a rookie? But yeah, Titans, I'm not starting any Titans here. And then on the Cardinals side, oh man, as quickly as we get excited about Trey Benson is as quickly as we have to come back down to earth. He is now on IR. So this backfield now goes to Michael Carter and Emery DeMercado. I mean, Michael Carter, they signed him off the street, didn't they? Or they elevated him from the practice squad. So you've got two pass catching backs that you're going to be. You're going to have to hand the ball off to one of them. But they're two pass catching specialists. Listen, if you have a Marvin Harrison Jr. or Trey McBride, you're a little more excited about what they can do today, especially against the Titans. But yeah, these running backs, it's rough. We have a guy in our dynasty league who already has suffered James Conner. He's already suffered Malik Neighbors. He suffered Tyreek Hill. Chase Brown was one of his guys. And then he traded for Trey Benson last week. And now Trey Benson. And then just for even more, for another cherry on top, Braylon Allen, who just headed to IR, was on his team as well. So rough go for Trey Benson owners, specifically for this guy in my league. But yeah, just so you know, Trey Benson is on IR. So the backfield is now Michael Carter and Emery DeMercado. Let's keep an eye on those guys, though, see what they do, see how the backfield gets split for them. And then we'll make our decisions on that going forward next week. But I'm not going to start either one of them, obviously, unless you absolutely have to. And then Bucks at Seahawks. Bucky Irving is out. So if Rachaad White is there, go grab him, because he's been a top 5 back in fantasy before when the backfield was just his. Let me take a look at that. But yeah, if Rachaad White is there, please go pick him up. I don't know what kind of league you're in if he's in there. Yeah, his second year finishes running back 4. He had 70 targets that year. So Rachaad White is, they're familiar with him in this offense. He is proven to be a good running back. So pick up Rachaad White. He is 77% rostered in sleeper leagues. But if he's available, go pick him up. Or Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker's another guy who's been in this offense for multiple years, who's had pop-off days. Just go pick up those guys and see what you have. And then Mike Evans missing another game with a hamstring. Obviously not fantasy related. Well, kind of fantasy related, but I think the 1,000-yard streak is over. Mike Evans is, 31, 32? Mike Evans is 32 years old. I think we are looking at the cliff. And I've heard a quote before: if you can see the cliff, then it's already too late. So I think this is Emeka Egbuka's wide receiver room now. And that's how it is. Mike Evans going to miss another game, going to miss probably several more games with that elusive hamstring of his. All right, then final game. No, not yet. Lions at Bengals. Big games coming from everywhere in Detroit. I'm starting Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the same game, or in the same lineup this week, because it's going to go somewhere against this Bengals defense. One of them is going to score touchdowns, so I might as well have a piece of it and start both of them. So big games coming everywhere from Detroit. I don't think I have to tell you to start any Detroit Lions. I think if you drafted a Detroit Lion, you're starting them. Maybe you're questioning Big J-Mo, because he's boom or bust. But as far as those bona fide starters for the Lions, I don't have to tell you. And then on the Bengals side, no injuries here. Chase Brown, though. Chase Brown's had a rough year. 2.3 yards per carry. That is one of, if not the worst efficiency in the league at running back. So Chase Brown has been benched in any leagues that I have him on until further notice. It's a rough offense with Jake Browning. They're even struggling to get Jamar Chase the ball. Last week, a certain matchup in our league was up by 1 point towards the end of the game. I think it was the final drive, and then Jamar Chase got one more catch to seal the deal, and that resulted in 7.3 points for Jamar Chase. So it is rough in Bengal land. It's rough if you drafted Jamar Chase number 1 overall. But listen, we did a mock draft earlier this season, and I had the number 1 pick. I took Bijan Robinson. I took a ton of crap for it, but I said, they're like, well, why'd you do it? Because the fantasy wide receiver one and running back one, it never repeats. And there's no explanation for why. There's different reasons every year. It never repeats. It's this weird thing that happens in fantasy. I mean, look at Saquon. Saquon was the running back one. You can say Jahmyr Gibbs was. He had more total points, but Saquon, from a points per game perspective, was a running back one last year. He is currently running back 13. It just doesn't repeat. It never repeats. So we're looking at it now with Jamar Chase. He's going to have some incredible games to repeat as a wide receiver one. It's not happening. Puka Nacua is a wide receiver one if he stays healthy. But yeah, it is rough for Bengals. It's rough for Bengals fans. It's rough for Bengals fantasy owners. So I have nothing to say, but I'm sorry if you are a Bengals investor. Okay, last afternoon slate game, that is Commanders at Chargers. So Jaden Daniels is fully recovered. He's ready to go. I'm looking forward to see. This is going to be a great game. We got Jaden Daniels against Justin Herbert. Jaden Daniels looking to come back and put a stamp on his second year. Justin Herbert looking to bounce back after that loss against the Giants last week. I think this is my game of the week, Commanders at Chargers. But Terry McLaurin, as we tend to see with the contract holdout guys, he is hurt. He's missing another game. This happened with Brandon Ayuk last year. He came back late into the offseason, didn't look good, and then got hurt. So this is another one of those things. Like I said, when you look at the fantasy wide receiver one and fantasy running back one, I never draft them the following year. You look at contract holdouts in the offseason, I never draft those guys. If they're not practicing, in the offseason, if they're not at training camp, I am not drafting those guys. And Terry McLaurin is an example here. I think he was a high third or low second round pick this year. You're getting nothing out of him. He's out. And when he's in, he's not playing well. But again, we said it last week. We're saying it again this week. Deebo Samuel looks great. He fits in this offense. Cool guy Cliff Kingsbury knows how to use him, is excited about using him, uses him all over the field. And this running back room is nobody's really stepping up. So I'm thinking Deebo's about to get more carries. We've seen that in the past with Deebo be used legitimately as a running back. So Deebo Samuel, a smash start again. I don't think I have to convince anybody though that you're starting Deebo Samuel here today against the Chargers. All right, and then the Sunday night game, Patriots against the Bills, probably looked like a better game before the season started. Patriots been a little bit of a disappointment so far, but everyone is healthy. Hunter Henry is a set it and forget it tight end. He is tight end 4 right now. Only 2 targets last week, but he did catch a touchdown. And that's the thing with Hunter Henry every year. He's the red zone guy. And this is a better offense than we've seen in the past with the Patriots, with Mac Jones. And then even last year, at this point, it was Jacoby Brissett, and then Drake May got the start, I believe, in week 4 or week 5. But Hunter Henry is now part of a better offense. He had 11 targets in week 3, 2 touchdowns. He had a monster game. But yeah, Hunter Henry is a tight end 4. And in this year where tight end is just kind of rough, and then now you've got Brock Bowers hurt, this is a type of guy you want to make sure you have rostered. He's rostered in 78% of leagues, so he's not available across the board. But if you did pick him up and you have some tight end troubles, I wouldn't mind starting Hunter Henry. And then on the Bills side, you start Josh Allen, you start James Cook. And speaking of tight end, I think you start Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid, tight end 7. He's been a red zone guy. They have gone to him in the red zone this year. And the Bills are in the red zone a lot. So yeah, Dalton Kincaid. And then the wide receivers, it's just, nobody's really emerging. Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, they're all playing their role. Nobody's emerging. Keon Coleman is still getting the majority of snaps for the wide receivers, 73% last week, compared to Khalil Shakir at 53%. But yeah, a little bit of a disappointment with the Bills wide receivers, but hey, they are still at the top of the league. The Bills are 4-0 and probably going to go 5-0 after playing the Patriots this week. And then our Monday night game, Chiefs at Jags. So Xavier Worthy's back. Xavier Worthy looked good. Rashee Rice still out with the suspension. Should be back, I believe, week 7. I believe it was a 6-week suspension. So Chiefs are trending up. Patrick Mahomes looks good. The running backs, they are what they are. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Neither one of them are really emerging. But rookie running back, Brashard Smith, rookie running back for the Chiefs. And I sound like a broken record, but we look at the snap share, we look at the efficiency, we look at the amount of carries he's getting, and he's being used in the passing game, which is big for Chiefs running backs. So week 3 is the first time he really got some real playing time, 11% of 11 or not real playing time, but he was being used 11% of snaps. And then week 2, 26% of snaps. I think that trends up easily because they're looking for something in this backfield. He had 4 targets, 3 catches for 27 yards last week. Brashard Smith, he is rostered in only 14 leagues. Go pick up Brashard Smith. If the Chiefs do not trade for somebody, I picked up Alvin Kamara, traded for Alvin Kamara, kind of hoping for a little, maybe the Chiefs trade down the line. If the Chiefs don't trade for a running back, Brashard Smith is somebody to keep an eye on. If you don't have room to pick him up this week, just keep an eye on him. Just take a look at those numbers Monday night. Unfortunately, it's a Monday night game, though, so it's going to be in front of the whole world if he pops off. So your league's going to be going after him. But if you have space, go get Brashard Smith. I think he's going to be a big part of this offense because they're just looking for anything in the running back room. And then on the Jags side, Travis Etienne is still doing his thing. Wide receivers, though, it's rough for Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. I'm still starting Brian Thomas Jr. I am not starting Travis Hunter until further notice, which sucks because we drafted him in the 4th, 5th round. That's pretty much where he was going. But yeah, it's rough for Travis Hunter right now from a fantasy wide receiver standpoint. Has yet to break double-digit fantasy points, and that's in full PPR. So yeah, not starting Travis Hunter. I am starting Brian Thomas. You can't deny the talent. You just can't. Brian Thomas Jr. is a talented wide receiver. The weird thing, though, is he didn't do it with Trevor Lawrence. He did it with Mac Jones. So do with that what you will. I am not convinced on Trevor Lawrence at all. But I'm still starting Brian Thomas because he is that star wide receiver. And you drafted him to be a star. You drafted him to be your guy. So start him until further notice. And that'll do it. That is all of our games this week. Listen, we will be back. We're going to be introducing some fantasy rankings. We're going to be introducing some start-sit advice every week. That is going to be part of the Fantasy playlist on the Bench Network. And then join us for our regular shows. That's going to be our Monday morning releases and our Friday morning releases. That's our regular NFL shows. But listen, thanks for joining us. It's week 5, guys. It is week 5. Offenses are fired up. Stars are playing like stars. But then you got the weird stuff as well with the Bengals and Brian Thomas, and you got injuries. But listen, this is what we do. It's a war. It's a long war. Fantasy football is a war. And we are here every week to help you win each battle every week. So looking forward to hearing how you guys are doing this week. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in any videos if you have any start-sit questions or anything like that. But really appreciate you guys, and we will see you later this week. Peace.